Yeah, 19th century, right? You know, now we have, this is like when like religion started to get kind of sort of pushed aside, kind of debunked, so to speak, right? Because, you know, a lot of scientists were starting to bash on religion. A lot of these Enlightenment thinkers were trying to say that, you know, religion is all nonsense, it's make-believe, right? Thus, this is why you should just kind of embrace atheism and secularism and science, because that is the truth. You know, this was kind of going on, right? And then, you know, people were starting to like kind of, now, well, maybe not back then, because, you know, back then there was still a lot of really this type of atheism was only becoming, it was only really popular inside of Europe, right? That's where like this type of research was going on. That's where there was like these types of discussions about the nature of God going on and stuff like that, right? You know, other parts of the world, they were kind of still kind of veiled in a lot of ignorance, so to speak, right? So they weren't really catching on to atheism. But now, you know, especially in the modern age through the internet, right, you know, atheism is kind of getting popularized, right? It's kind of seen as the most intellectual worldview to have, right? Because, you know, a lot of scientists are atheists, and so you know, that should mean that it's like it's a mark of being an intellectual. So you have to be an atheist if you want to be an intellectual. So, you know, but this is kind of, I feel like this is just like some type of agenda and stuff, right? Some type of tool. There are a lot of now maybe a lot of, I don't know, some people are kind of trying to, you know, because, you know, Albert Pike, you know, in his quote, he said that we shall unleash the nihilists and the atheists and provoke a formidable social cataclysm, right? We shall unleash, right? He was kind of implying that there was a concerted, he was kind of saying that there will be like some type of concerted effort to normalize atheism, and, you know, and thus as a result nihilism, right? Because, you know, I already explained this a lot of times already, you know, but atheism and nihilism go hand in hand, so to speak. They go hand in hand, right? It isn't hard to reason why they go hand in hand. You know, Albert Pike, he said that, you know, we shall unleash the nihilists and the atheists. He kind of implied that there's going to be a concerted effort. People are going to kind of try and intentionally normalize atheism, and, you know, as a result nihilism. This is why I believe that, you know, there is probably some type of agenda, like a bunch of conspirators, some people that are trying to actually kind of bring atheism into the mainstream, trying to make it even more normalized across the world. And it's kind of still shocking to me, right? Well, okay, so a lot of you might argue, well, you know, atheism is reasonable. What's wrong with atheism? You know, again, as I already kind of explained a lot of different times throughout this video, right? Atheism is a Trojan horse for nihilism, right? You know, atheism kind of, it says that we're accidents, right? We weren't put here with any specific purpose, right? We're just accidents, right? You know, but if we're just accidents, right, that means we don't have any real purpose or value or meaning, right? We're just accidents. And so, you know, this is nihilism, right? If we're accidents, we don't have any real purpose or meaning or value. We're just accidents, right? There's no real reason why we should even exist, right? Because we're just accidents, right? And, you know, this is nihilism, you know, and thus this is why atheism is a Trojan horse for nihilism. And, you know, this is why I believe that, you know, atheism, again, is the biggest conspiracy in the modern age. It's a conspiracy far greater than the flat earth conspiracy or any other type of conspiracy, right? Atheism is the biggest conspiracy in the modern age. And, you know, Albert Pike, he said that we shall unleash the atheists and the nihilists. Now you can find this quote, but that's attributed to him, right? He said we shall unleash, right? He said that there will be like some type of concerted effort to normalize atheism, right? Perhaps, you know, atheism, it might be being normalized by, you know, a bunch of different Freemasons, right? Because, you know, Albert Pike was a high-ranking Freemason, right? You know, there was millions of different Freemasons around this world, right? And in all different countries and nations, right? And Freemasons, right? There's millions of different Freemasons. They all have their own kind of lodges that they go to and stuff. Like, but you have to understand there's millions of them around the world, right? And they kind of, you know, they do have their own agendas and stuff, right? And they do bring about their own agendas and stuff. You can kind of feel their influence, right? In a lot of different places, right? Their influence, right? You know, Albert Pike was a high-ranking Freemason. He said, we shall, who shall, right? I believe that it could be the Freemasons that are trying to, you know, normalize atheism. and and as a consequence, also normalize nihilism, right? Because I explained countless times already, right? Atheism is a Trojan horse for nihilism, right? Because atheism, right? What does it say? It says that we're just accidents, right? If we're accidents, right, we don't have any real purpose or value or meaning, right? We're just, again, accidents. This is nihilism, right? This is literally nihilism, right? What does nihilism say? Nihilism says that we don't really have any real purpose or value or meanings. It's just all empty and meaningless, right? This is how atheism follows nihilism in a lot of different ways. So yeah, Albert Pike, we shall unleash the atheists and the nihilists. We shall unleash, right? He was talking about how there's going to be a concerted effort to normalize atheism, right, sometime in the future, right? I believe that, this is like, right, that time in the future is now, right? Atheism is they're attempting to normalize atheism right now. They're trying to do it, and you can feel it all over the world, right? That, atheism is like a lot of people are trying to normalize it, which is kind of, scary, right? Why is it scary? Because, I keep kind of stressing this, right? But, atheism is a Trojan horse for nihilism. They follow each other perfectly and stuff, right? You don't even have to kind of think too hard about it, right? Atheism says we're just accidents, right? Because there was no designer or maker, right? If we're just accidents, that means that there is no real reason that we should even exist, right? This is literally just nihilism, right? So it's not hard to reason, right, why atheism and nihilism go hand in hand. Again, atheism is a Trojan horse of nihilism, right? This is why atheism is the biggest conspiracy in the modern world. It's a conspiracy far greater than the flat earth conspiracy, right? That's that's the type of conspiracy a lot of people pay attention to, right? In my opinion, atheism is a far greater conspiracy, right? It's even greater than the flat earth conspiracy. Albert Pike said, we shall unleash the atheists and nihilists, or he said that we shall unleash the nihilists and the atheists. I don't know in which specific way he said it, right? But he said something about we shall unleash, right? He was kind of implying that there's going to be a concerted effort, man, to normalize atheism, and as a result, nihilism, right? He said that there will be a concerted effort to normalize atheism and nihilism sometime in the future, and that time is now, right? Because you can feel atheism being quickly normalized all around the world, right? It's pretty scary. A lot of people aren't even catching on, right? Atheism, again, is the biggest conspiracy, right? It's far greater, right, than the flat earth conspiracy, right? It dwarfs the flat earth conspiracy. It dwarfs any other type of conspiracy, right? Atheism is the biggest conspiracy in the modern world, right? Because, why is that, right? Why is atheism a conspiracy, right? Because atheism is a Trojan horse for nihilism. And Albert Pike, he said, we shall unleash the nihilists and the atheists, or he said, we shall unleash the atheists and the nihilists. I don't know, I don't remember in which specific way he said that, right? He said that, where there's going to be kind of a concerted effort to normalize atheism, why would that be bad, because atheism, by normalizing atheism, you would also be normalizing nihilism and stuff. That's why atheism's kind of shocking, and there's going to be a concerted effort, and that's why it's kind of scary. So that's why atheism's the biggest conspiracy in the modern age. And this is kind of terrifying. It's the biggest conspiracy in the modern age. Why is that? It's because atheism's a Trojan horse for nihilism. Atheism is a Trojan horse for nihilism. Albert Pike said that we shall unleash the nihilists and the atheists, or something like that. Or he said something like that, man. He said that there will be a concerted effort to normalize atheism sometime in the future, and I believe that time is now, right?